have two sets of people. One who are born with the disability, and second is the people who acquire it later in life, right? So if you get an accident or if you have a progressive disability like his, those we categorize as the ones who got them later in life. But for example, my disability is a by birth disability. So the way the world looks at you when you're in either categories is very different. So for a person who gets a disability later, I think it's a bigger trauma, because what happens is you were being treated as a regular person, and now suddenly the world starts pitying you, and you notice that. But if you're born with a disability, you've kind of adjusted to the idea of the world ignoring you or pitying you or thinking you are less, because that's how it has been since birth, But in case of people who acquire it later, it's a very sudden transformation. So suddenly the world changes, and I think that's a bigger cause of where they fall behind and get depressed also a lot of times. But let me just add on to a few things. If you're a child with disability, education itself is a big problem, because schools are not ready to take you. Schools are very hesitant about having kids with disability as part of the regular classroom. What they will automatically do is say that you need special education, so you should be sent to a special school. And I'll give you an example. If an elephant walks into this room right now, will not all of us turn and look at it?
Yes.
Is there anybody in this room who will not turn and look at an elephant and think, okay, this is normal?
No.
All of us will, right? But if elephant was studying in this class with you every day, will you turn and look at it? That's precisely the point why we need inclusion. Because the minute someone is a part of your everyday life, when you have studied with them, especially as kids, you start seeing them as different, and you start seeing them as people who are regular as part of your lives. You stop noticing that different thing about them. They become, just whoever they are outside of their disability. And that's why we need inclusive education. So all my friends and all the people who ever studied in school with me, none of them will ever discriminate in life with any person who's got a disability, because they have studied with someone like me. So they know that people with disability exist, and people with disability are people with abilities also. Normally what has been happening is that your disability ends up defining you as an individual. So all your abilities, they are thrown out of the window, and only your disability is noticed. And schools, unfortunately, in India are these, elite institutions which think they produce all NASA scientists or ISRO scientists. So hence, they cannot have anybody who will not become a scientist. And so the biggest hurdle that every child with disability faces is getting that first admission into a school. And you must remember, for people with disability, it is even more important to have an education. See, what are the kind of ways that you can earn your living? What are the ways you could earn your living? You can use your physical body, or you can use your mental body, right? Only two ways. Now, if you're a person with disability, what does that mean? Your physical body is most likely not able to work that well. So, you automatically will need to depend on your mental strength, right? Unless you're a person with mental disabilities, obviously. But let's put that one aside for a bit, and let's look at the other bits, right? Which basically means that if you're a person with disability, you will need your mental abilities to be trained well. And that's what education is, right? And if you're depriving that person of even that, you have basically deprived that person of every opportunity. And let me tell you this. Let's all be extremely selfish human beings. Let's be excessively selfish. Do you want to live in a world where only 50% of the people are contributing?
No.
As a country, if only 50% of my population is allowed to work, the rest of the 50% is a dependent on that 50%. So let's take a family, okay? It's a family of 4 people. If only one of them works and he earns 100 rupees, what is the income of the family? 100. And what is the amount left for each person? 25. Now, if you allow everybody to work, some person may earn 50, some may earn 20, some may earn 30, and one is earning 100, right? That's still 200. So the status of the 50 left, right? There could have been 100, but not everybody is able to earn 100. But even then, whatever they can, they still contributed 50 and doubled the income. And we must remember, a person who earns for themselves, they are able to also manage other things for themselves. If you are the only person who works in your family, then you will be the one taking all the decisions. That normally happens, right? Where do you want to send your kids to school? Where do we take a vacation? How much money do we spend? What lifestyle do we follow? All of those decisions also come on you. अगर बाहर से कुछ सामान लाना है, that is also on you. Whatever you need to do, all of that burden comes on you. Nobody is sharing your burden. So besides you working, you also have to take care of the physical, emotional, mental needs of everybody else. Which means your time left to yourself has lessened. If I have to take care of everybody in my house, then my time left for me is lessened. Right? But if everybody is earning, they will be able to contribute something. At least I do not have to take care of their small physical and emotional needs, which means my time left for myself also is more. And hence, we should need everybody to earn. We should need everybody to be empowered for ourselves. For me to have a better life, for me to get 50 rupees out of my 100 rupee income, I need everybody else also to work. Does that make sense? What that means is that then we need an accessible world. We need a world where everybody is given an opportunity to work, because that's for me, not for them. It is better for me that they take their own burden and I don't have to bear their burden. Does that make sense? So it's not for those poor people that you need them to work. It's also for yourself. And the same thing goes for women in the society. If 50% of your population, which is your women, are not working and contributing, your total GDP as a country goes down. You guys understand GDP, right? You law students. Yeah, so your total GDP goes down. Your GDP has automatically halved, and on top of that, you have the extra burden. You have the extra burden of taking care of their financial needs. Why should you do that? Why? Let everybody earn for themselves. Let everybody have their own opportunities, right? That way you have more time for you. You can do better for yourself. So be selfish, and that is why you should want accessibility, and that is why inclusion is important. Not for someone else, not for giving them something, but for yourself. And remember, people who are not working and who are not empowered, they also tend to become negative. Which means you will end up living in a world surrounded by people who are slightly negative and who don't see a glass half full. They only see glass half empty. Which again, and we don't recognize this, but the toll it takes on your mental health to be surrounded by people who are not able to see the positive light, that's another burden. So your own capacity, which was about earning 100, will actually come down to earning 80. So empowerment is not for someone else. Accessibility is not for someone else, it's for myself. Because I need everybody around me to be contributing, to be positive, to be, someone can take their own burden, so I don't have to. If you work in a group project, isn't it important that everybody contributes? This is exactly the same thing. That's what accessibility and inclusion is. It's getting every single person of that group project to take their own burden. Because otherwise, you become that guy who's done the project and then made the report and then submitted the assignment on time. And anybody who has been that person, you know how irritating it is. And that is where the inclusion needs to start from primary education. Because once it is in primary education, that mindset changes. You stop seeing that person as a person with disability, you start seeing them as a person who has some abilities which are different from you maybe, but or maybe they are good at something and they are not good at something, but they're still somebody who can contribute. And primary education, unless, if I don't know how to read ABC, you put me in this class, what will I do? What can I learn here if I haven't learned ABC? You mentioned about people with hearing disabilities and sign language. Let me tell you this. Very few people with hearing disability actually know sign language. Only people with hearing disability who have gone to specific schools which are about hearing disability, and by the way, since I have run those schools, let me tell you, not all my teachers know sign language. Teachers in hearing disabled schools, which for some reason is still called deaf and dumb schools. We don't actually call them schools for persons with hearing disability. We call them deaf and dumb schools still. Those schools, my teachers did not know sign language. So can you imagine the state of affairs? Acha, what is the purpose of a language?
To communicate.
Why do we learn any language? Why do we learn English? Exactly. Somebody said communicate globally. The point is, the more common the language, the more number of people you can communicate with, right? Who do we teach sign language to?
Only to deaf and dumb.
People with hearing disabilities, right? So basically, hearing disabled people are only allowed to talk to other hearing disabled people. Do you get that?
Yes.
What is the purpose of a language again?
To communicate
With the world. Yeah? So if you taught me a language which only other people like me can speak, what have you done? Not just segregation, you have limited my world. You have limited my world. We have been teaching sign language only to kids with hearing disability. They cannot even talk to their own parents. They cannot talk to their siblings. They cannot talk to their parents. Because they were never taught. See, disability unfortunately is very rarely a part of the family tree. Why are people with disability still not able to have a voice? It's because it's one person in a family, not everybody. See, you have an SC voice because everybody in the family is SC or OBC, right? But with disability, it is one person in that whole family. So even the next generation will not be affected, and hence we don't fight for it. We are like, okay, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, वो एक बेचारा है ना, बाकी सब तो उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ना ना, उस एक का burden तो हम ले लेंगे. So we don't fight for the people with disability. That is where all the problems he's been talking about came up. Because these are individual cases. For example, in my family, there is not a single person with disability, except for me. There's nobody in my family who has any kind of disability, except for me. Which means that any policy which is going to be about, see, policies and mindsets take years. They take, when did he ban dowry? When did he ban dowry? Does anybody know? Yeah, right? 1960s. Is it stopped?
No, not at all.
Precisely. Because when it is a social issue, it's a social mindset problem, it takes years and years and years, and probably centuries. Right? I mean, imagine a thing like murder, it was always banned. Has it stopped? But, so, things that are social mindsets, they take years to change. Now, if there is going to be one individual case in any family, that's not only something that they fight for. So again, coming back to hearing disabled people, the situation is much worse than you can imagine. Because they cannot communicate with anybody if you teach them sign language. Because we didn't teach it to anybody else. We just taught it to those people and thought, what a good job we are doing. Wow, I taught him sign language, wow. Nobody else knows it. Who is he supposed to talk to? Nobody. So there are these smaller nuances. So I am on panel for accessible elections, and we just, all of us across the country are now getting trained for elections, right? Elections are coming up in the center, and what that means is every single government employee across the country is just going to think and work on elections right from somewhere around November till June. And I'm being on panel for accessible elections. There was one thing that I was talking to them, that what we're doing is even in rural areas, we're going around making things in braille. Huh? Who knows braille? Do you know braille? Anybody here who knows braille? I see a few visually challenged people. Does anybody know braille?
The one who invented the language.
Sorry?
No, ma'am, no.
No, right? Okay, so basically, your people with visual disability do not know braille. There's nobody who knows braille. Now, if you start making signboards, you know one or two. Yeah. Okay, thank you, sit. But that's a very rare percentage. Very rare, and I think you know braille because you went to schools for children with visual disability. Yeah? Yes, exactly. Those are not many. There are very few schools like that. So if you've gone to that school, they will teach you Braille, otherwise you don't know Braille. Which also means that if you're in my rural area, you're in the interior parts of the country, whatever I write in Braille is just as good as writing in French Braille. You don't know Braille. What am I doing writing in Braille? Also, by the way, we are making the assumption that you have been educated. The first assumption is you are educated. And the second assumption is you are educated in Braille. So we have these idealistic views of the world and we think we've got this policy and it's suddenly being implemented. I was actually in the department when he's talking about him not getting the certificate. Let me tell you, we don't have doctors who know how to assess disability. We don't. And we don't have medical boards in most of the hospitals. If you're in Delhi, there is nowhere else except Southern Hospital or AIMS where you can actually get a disability certificate probably. And by the way, this is physical. When you talk about mental disability, I don't have psychiatrists. I do not have psychiatrists in this country which can evaluate you and give you a mental disability certificate. It is extremely difficult. And I was literally the department, the person heading that. For me, it was so difficult to get that thing going because there were no doctors available. I could not get that. But there will be small issues, and as lawyers, I hope you guys understand those nuances so that you can go on and help change those policies. Please take up cases because you don't know the way that person has had to struggle every single day to just come to you as a lawyer. You don't know that. You don't know the kind of struggles. Trust me on this, every single person who was born with a disability, at least from day one of their life, they have had to either decide I will give up or decide I will fight, and it's every single day. Every single new person that you meet, you have to convince them again that you deserve an opportunity. I'm not even saying you deserve something solid. I'm saying just the chance itself is so tough. Just to allow you to sit in that exam, they will tell you, Nahi, these are the reasons you can't. Just to, enter that school, it's so tough. Because my school, all of them always rejected me. My dad had to sit outside the schools for months on end to get me an admission. After that, I was always one of the school toppers. And they would not let me go after that. But just to enter, and I'm probably the top alumni of all my schools. But just to enter that school would be so tough. And that too when I had excellent reports from the previous school. So that mindset is the problem. And I think we're running out of time, so we'll take 3-4 questions and then probably we'll move on. Any questions? Yes, please, go ahead. He raised his hand first, I'll come back.
Thank you for giving me a chance, ma'am. The problem you have, cited many, and these are practical problems. Now come to your case, madam. And everyone is proud of you have, successfully cleared the exam, and that too you have topped this. And probably after that you did not get posting. Now, and you have been receiving so many accolades and awards. So my question is, do the system, which is a truly disabled person, the system is truly disabled, not the people, it's a system, right? So the system allow you to work for the disabled or they just love to make you as a poster girl of the,
Okay, so I will tell you 2 things. Thank you for the question. I will want to address this in 2 ways. Can you still see me in the back? I sat down. Am I visible at all? Okay, you guys are good? Okay. So one thing is, I would not want to be working only for people with disabilities, and I'll tell you why. As a person who got rank 1, if even then they think I can only work for that, then people with disabilities never get assimilated into society. अगर वो मुझे बार बार डिसेबिलिटी डिपार्टमेंट ही दे देंगे ना, तो बात क्या होगी कि डिसेबल्ड लोग सिर्फ अपने ही देख सकते हैं. Which means our true respect in the society as people who can contribute and be productive, वो नहीं आएगी कभी भी. So even as rank 1 अगर मैं सिर्फ वही करूँगी, तो बहुत गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. ठीक है, but I have gotten the opportunity and I do get asked many times informally also on things, and if I go and talk to someone about this issue, at least they listen. And I never talk about, I never tell anybody I have a rank 1 or anything, But sometimes, and it's only when I'm talking about people with disabilities and I want them to listen, that's the time I say कि oh by the way I also got rank 1 in PSC. So then that person stands up and listens to what I'm saying. Otherwise वो नहीं सुनेंगे आपकी बात, तो क्या हुआ, आप एक IAS ऑफिसर एक वो भी तो है ना, और वो मोस्ट लाइकली आपके सीनियर्स हैं. So that is how I get away with being able to convince people of things and getting them to listen to what I'm saying. क्योंकि as a person with disability what he said is correct. दिमाग में यही रहता है रिजर्वेशन से आया ना, इनको क्या आता है. आपको ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा ये जो रिजर्वेशन मिली थी ना ये इसलिए नहीं मिली थी कि हम कुछ फेवर कर रहे हैं, वो इसलिए मिली थी क्योंकि उस इंसान को ना एग्जाम हॉल तक आने के लिए ना एक जनरल कैंडिडेट से 3 घंटे एक्स्ट्रा लगते हैं. ये बात समझ लो, उसको वो ट्रेन में चढ़ के नहीं आ सकता, मेट्रो में चढ़ के नहीं आ सकता, उसको ना 4 एक्स्ट्रा स्टेप्स लेने पड़ते हैं. एयरपोर्ट में ना फ्लाइट पकड़ने के लिए ना एक पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी को कम से कम 1 घंटा एक्स्ट्रा लगता है. 1 घंटा बता रही हूँ मैं आराम से, क्योंकि उसको ना बहुत सारे अपने जो डिवाइसेस है ना उसको करना पड़ता है, कोई हेल्पर ढूंढना पड़ता है जो फ्लाइट के अंदर तक लेके जाए, वेट करना पड़ता है बाकी लोगों के पैदल वालों के लिए आने जाने का, एक्स्ट्रा टाइम लगता है उसे हर चीज़ में, विच मीन्स उसकी लाइफ के ना बहुत सारे जो चीज़ें हैं ना वो गायब हुई हैं. एंड अगर उसको पेन्स हैं, अगर उसको चलने में पेन है, उसको बैठने में पेन है, उसको किसी चीज़ में पेन है, तो जब आप पढ़ रहे हो और आप बीमार हो तो आप कभी पढ़ाई कर पाते हो? कभी कर पाते हो पढ़ाई जब आपको दर्द हो रहा है? तो आप ये सोचो वो इंसान कॉन्स्टेंटली दर्द में पढ़ रहा था, तो वो रिजर्वेशन फेवर नहीं है, वो रिजर्वेशन उसको जो एक्स्ट्रा चीज़ें झेलनी पड़ रही थी ना वो पढ़ाई करने के लिए, उसकी वजह से है कि वी अज्यूम कि आपकी ability to perform in the exam has been lowered by circumstances. Not that you are stupider or not that you can't perform, but simply because of circumstances your ability to perform has been lowered. अगर आपको 2 घंटे पहले चलना पड़ रहा है किसी और से एक एयरपोर्ट पे फ्लाइट कैच करने के लिए, या आपको जो होटल है जिसमें आप रहोगे कहीं पे एग्जाम देने जाने के लिए वही आपको चेक करना पड़ रहा है ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे है कि नहीं है. अगर आप विजुअल डिसेबल्ड हो तो आपको वहाँ तक कमरे तक पहुँच पा रहे हो कि नहीं पहुँच पा रहे हो, उसी में आपको एक्स्ट्रा टाइम लग रहा है, तो आपका पढ़ने का टाइम कम हुआ ना. दैट इज द पॉइंट, है ना. डिड आई आंसर योर क्वेश्चन?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, थैंक यू. यस बेटा.
मैम द वेरी क्वेश्चन जो मेरे दिमाग में हमेशा होता है, बिकॉज आफ्टर कमिंग टू दिल्ली आई रियलाइज कि मतलब मैंने कभी इतना इनकाउंटर नहीं किया था डिसेबल्ड पीपल को, बट यहाँ पर आने के बाद मुस्कान जी बिकेम माय फ्रेंड. एक प्रॉब्लम जो मुझे हमेशा समझ में आ रही है कि इंक्लूसिविटी जो होती है ना, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. हम कभी भी कुछ भी डिस्कस करते रहते तो हमने डिसेबिलिटी को एक गाली की तरह यूज करते, तो हाउ कैन वी ब्रिंग चेंज इन सोसाइटी दैट जो लोग अभी जो सिस्टम चल रहा है वो थोड़ा सा मतलब एटलीस्ट बदले.
पहली चीज आई थिंक आई एम ग्लैड यू रिकॉग्नाइज दिस. हर चीज ना पहली अगर आपको रिकॉग्नाइज हो जाए ना कि ये गलती हो रही है, वहीं से स्टार्ट हो जाता है, क्योंकि आप खुद ठिठुरने लगते हो वो चीज़ करते हुए. किसी को लंगड़ा कहते हुए ना आप अगली बार 1 सेकंड रुक जाओगे, है ना. 1 सेकंड रुक जाओगे. ओके,
तो लंगड़ा बोलने में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम ये कि लंगड़ा
मैं वही बोल रही हूँ. तो वो बोलते हुए जो आपका सेंटिमेंट आ रहा था ना वो 1 मिनट के लिए आप रुक जाओगे अगली बार जब मुंह से निकलेगा. एंड चेंज ऑलवेज स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम योरसेल्फ. दूसरा चीज इज आई थिंक समवेयर पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटीज आल्सो need to stop being ashamed of their disability. ठीक है, बचपन से ना आपको ये सिखाया जाता है कि आप में कुछ कमी है तो आपकी पूरा परिवार उसको छुपाने में लगा होता है. तो आपको लगता है कि आपकी डिसेबिलिटी में कुछ गड़बड़ है, आपके साथ कुछ बहुत मैसिव गड़बड़ हो गई है, आप एक खराब इंसान हो, है ना, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डिफेक्ट टाइप है, तो आपको ना छुपाना है अपने आप को. तो आप अपनी डिसेबिलिटी को एक्सेप्ट करने की जगह ना उससे छुपते रहते हो, जिस वजह से किसी चीज़ को मैं गाली तभी मारूंगी ना जब मुझे लगेगा कि वो गाली गलत है. अगर मुझे नहीं लग रहा कि मेरे में कोई गड़बड़ है तो तुम कुछ भी बोलो, तो मेरे गाली थोड़ी होगी. तो देयर द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फॉर पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटी आल्सो कम्स इन, बट वो उनकी नहीं है, उनके पेरेंट्स की आती है. एंड वो थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, बट समवेयर अगर हम सब रिकॉग्नाइज कर लें कि अगर आप किसी को लंगड़ा कह रहे हैं या किसी को अंधा कह रहे हैं या किसी को बेटा कह रहे हैं, वो उस इंसान के हाथ में नहीं था. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक छोटी सी चीज है, हम साला कहने को इंडिया में गाली कहते हैं. साला होता क्या है? बहन आपकी वाइफ का भाई नहीं, how is that a bad thing?
Because in India, having a daughter is
Exactly. तो आपने ये कह दिया कि बहन होना ही गलत है. my God.
extra responsibility.
कि मतलब because you have a sister and I have been so kind and generous that I married your sister, तो अब तुम मेरे वो है ना, अब तुम मेरे सोशली अनएक्सेप्टेबल इंसान हो, तो क्योंकि तुम्हारी बहन के ऊपर मैंने एहसान किया, उससे शादी कर दी. So it's about those kind of mentalities that we as a society have been carrying, and mostly इंडिया में जितनी भी commonly used गाली हैं, they're about how we define the society. क्योंकि हम सोचते हैं ये चीज करना या ऐसा होना खराब है और हमने उसे गाली बना लिया है. But the minute all of us sitting in rooms like this start discussing that and recognizing कि इसमें क्या गड़बड़ है, साला कहना क्यों गलत है, अरे तो कोई बात नहीं, तुम्हारी मतलब अब बहनें नहीं होंगी क्या, देश को एक सेकंड में खत्म कर देना है हमने, क्योंकि सिंगल जनरेशन में पॉपुलेशन खत्म है अगर वुमेन डोंट एग्जिस्ट, मेन कैन नॉट एग्जिस्ट, वुमेन नहीं होंगी तो खत्म है पॉपुलेशन एक जनरेशन में. तो क्या कर रहे हैं हम, है ना? So it's about how we then start thinking of things in our own head and how we sort of start controlling our own reactions and controlling the way we think. Yeah? Good luck.
Can you put some more light on people with mental disability? Because this is what I feel. I don't know about the statistics. I think people with physical disability, at least they are accepted, they are seen. But what about people with mental disability?
So people with mental disability, unfortunately, the world is very different for them. Do you know what really the world is? Bit a bad job. Thank you. I can see you. No worry. Okay. What is the world? थोड़ा सा फिलोसफिकल होना पड़ेगा हमें यहाँ पे. बट एक बात सोच के देखो, तो दुनिया क्या है? दुनिया तुम्हारे लिए वो है जो तुम्हारा दिमाग तुम्हें कहता है कि वो है. The world is just your perception. तुम आज अगर यहाँ बैठ के ये डिसाइड कर लो ना, everybody in this room hates you, तो बहुत खराब दुनिया है तुम्हारे लिए. World is exactly what you know what our mind is actually. Our mind is our perception of the world is created by our own thoughts. मेरे लिए दुनिया अच्छी या बुरी तब है जब मैं मानूंगा कि वो अच्छी या बुरी है. कैसी भी है, I can decide, okay, if you dislike me, but I decide that I like you and every day I give you a smile, तो मेरे लिए तो तुम अच्छे इंसान ही रहोगे ना. शायद तुम मेरे लिए कुछ बुरा भी करो तो मैं देखूँ ना. Why do people get cheated and why do people do that? Because माइंड में आपने माना है कि वो अच्छे होंगे. So the world is exactly how you decide the world is. Now the thing is, for people with mental disabilities, the one I think the slight positive is कि उनके perceptions ना दुनिया के बारे में clear नहीं होते. They can't read the world's reactions, so their ability to think and get affected by the world is lessened in that sense. So I think people with mental disabilities themselves don't feel whether the world is cruel or not. World को feel करने के लिए तुम्हारी mental perceptions clear होने चाहिए. Is that making sense to you? Okay. So let me finish my answer, then I'll come back to you guys. So आपके वर्ल्ड के लिए ना perceptions जब तक बन नहीं पा रहे, तब तक आप कुछ वो नहीं कर पा रहे. We have delayed you guys by a lot, so I will quickly close after this. So now when it comes to giving opportunities for people with mental disabilities, it is very important on the parent. Unfortunately, people with mental disabilities are not always comfortable with other people. People with autism, people with Down syndrome, people with those kind of specific disabilities. I don't know if you've ever dealt with any of them, but I have. And they have a specific level of comfort with specific people. And it's not everybody. And unfortunately, and this is a very sad reality of the world, but I think you guys are old enough and people who will be working in the sector, so you should be aware of this. People with disabilities are almost, I think, 3 to 4 times more sexually abused than people without disabilities. So a girl with disability, the number of girls who face any kind of sexual abuse, उसमें जो girls with disability का अगर आप खाली बोलोगे ना, that's at least 2 to 3 times higher, and a lot of it is underreported. मतलब नॉर्मल लड़की भी रिपोर्ट नहीं करती है, बट नॉर्मल लड़की जितना रिपोर्ट करती है गर्ल विद डिसेबिलिटी तो उससे भी कम रिपोर्ट करती है. So the kind of sexual abuse that happens for girls with disability and other kids with disability and specifically mental disabilities is much, much, much higher, which also means that it's very unsafe for you as a parent also to let your child out in the world. क्योंकि वो बच्चा अपने आप को डिपेंड नहीं कर सकता. देखो, एक लड़की जो स्ट्रॉन्ग दिखती है ना, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं होती कोई कुछ बोल के चला जाए. ये तुम लड़कों को भी समझ आता है, राइट? ये लड़कों को भी बात समझ में आती है. जो लड़की आपको स्ट्रॉन्ग दिखती है उससे तो डर के भाग जाते हो, है ना? कमजोर लड़की जो है उसी पे हाथ चल जाते हैं सब, जो बस में छूके जाते हैं या वो करते हैं. जब आप कमजोर दिखते हो ना तभी. पता है, लॉयर लड़की से कम ही लोग पंगा लेते हैं, राइट? लॉयर से पुलिस वाली से एक पंगा था, पीछे न्यूज में आया था ना, ऑल ऑफ अस आर लाइक सुपर शॉक्ड कि ऐसे कैसे हो गया. बट जो लड़की स्ट्रांग दिखती है उससे सब दूर रहते हैं. बट वो जो बच्ची है ना मेरी मेंटल डिसेबिलिटी वाली, एंड आई विल ऑलवेज कॉल देम बच्ची बिकॉज द होल पॉइंट इज दे आर नॉट ग्रोन अप अडल्ट्स इन देयर ब्रेन. आप उम्र से फिजिकल ईयर से बड़े नहीं होते, आप मेंटल ईयर से बड़े होते हो, राइट? सो वो बच्ची के लिए इट्स अ लिटिल अनसेफ टू पुट हर आउट इन द वर्ल्ड. In which case, it's a thing for the parents, and there are a lot of schemes by the government which kind of support that system. Yeah. Okay, I'll take one quick question from you, and then from you, and then we'll close. Have you okay? We've extended a lot of time now. Okay. Yes.
मैम, मेरा जो क्वेश्चन है मैम वो थोड़ा सा मतलब डिफरेंट है. मुझे मतलब एक्चुअली ये पूछना था कि IAS की जो ट्रेनिंग होती है मैम, उसमें क्या क्या सिखाया जाता है, क्या इंक्लूडेड होता है? और
आपकी परेशानी क्या है बेटा, ये बताओ.
सॉरी मैम, आई डाइवर्टेड.
नहीं, बट आपकी परेशानी क्या है? आपको क्या डर लग रहा है?
कुछ
आपने ऐसे रैंडमली पूछा है सवाल, आपको लग रहा है आप वहाँ कुछ कर नहीं पाओगे, तो क्या लग रहा है, क्या नहीं कर पाओगे?
नो मैम, ऐसा कुछ नहीं लगता मुझे, क्योंकि
बस तो फिर कोई बात नहीं, वो सिखाएंगे जो सिखाएंगे तब सीखे ना. ठीक है, गुड लक. ऐसी रैंडम क्यूरियोसिटीज नहीं सेटिस्फाई करूंगी बेटा मैं. हाँ बोलो.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू फॉर इनवाइटिंग अस, बिकॉज मैम मैं LG2 का स्टूडेंट हूँ. मेरा नाम आकाश ठाकरे है. और अभी रिसेंटली जो डिस्कशन हुआ है ना, मेरे बिल्कुल घर के साथ वाले घर में एक बच्ची रहती है जो कि मेंटली मैम शी इज डिसेबल्ड एंड शी वाज बीइंग अब्यूज्ड बाय हर फादर वंस. ओके, लेट मी टेल यू द रियल फैक्ट. बाय टीनेज जो कि वहाँ पे शॉप में थे, एंड द रिपोर्ट वाज नेवर डिस्क्लोज आउट, क्योंकि खानदान की इज्जत और काम कौन देखेगा. लेट मी टेल यू सेकंड फैक्ट. इस रूम में जितने हम लोग बैठे हैं ना, एंड आई एम क्लियरली स्पिटिंग द फैक्ट, इस रूम से बाहर निकलते हम आज चीज भूल जाएंगे. और हम भी किसी को बोल रहे होंगे अरे डबल बैटरी बोल रहे होंगे ना. ही इज सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी. लाइब्रेरी में जब ये भाई पढ़ता है तो आई फील यार कि इसको भी इतनी दूर आना पड़ रहा है. उसके बाद जब ये कैंटीन में जाता है तो पीपल सेड कि यार हम पहले पर्ची दे के खाना खा लें. इनके साथ ऐसा होता है. इस फैकल्टी में जिसमें हम बैठे ना, लॉ फैकल्टीज में, वी आर द प्रोटेक्टर ऑफ जस्टिस. अभी 2 साल बाद हम लॉयर हो जाएंगे, कुछ लोग जुडिशरी क्लियर करके जज बन जाएंगे. लेकिन व्हाट विल यू डू आफ्टर दैट? एक बच्चा, एक छोटी सी फिल्म देखी थी गुठली लड्डू, जो कि कभी शायद सिनेमा में रिलीज ही नहीं हुई, वो OTT पर रिलीज हुई है. उसमें उस लड़के को बोला जाता है कि आप भंगी हैं. तो वो कहता है भंगी कौन? कि भंगी होते छोड़ जाती, उनको पढ़ने का कोई अधिकार नहीं होता. अगर पढ़ना ही था तो बड़ी जात में पैदा होना था, छोटी में क्यों हुआ? वो लड़का जैसे तैसे स्कूल के पुराने ब्लैक बोर्ड पे अपना नाम लिखना सीखता है. और जब किसी के घर जाता है ना, जिसके घर पे वो टॉयलेट साफ करता है, उसका एक छोटा सा बच्चा जो अभी मात्र 2 या 3 साल का होगा, वो उसको बोलता है ए भंगी चल निकल. तो माँ बाप ने जो फाउंडेशन तैयार करी है बच्चे की, आप क्या सोचते हैं कि वो बच्चा हायर एजुकेशन में जाके सुधर जाएगा? नहीं,
कभी नहीं सुधरा.
जब फाउंडेशन ही बिगड़गी तो वहां जाके तो उसका पता है क्या दिखेगा? अब यहाँ पे रिजर्वेशन से हमारी सीट कट गई,
सबसे पहले ये चीज दिखती है सबको.
PWD वाले आए और हमारा शेयर खा गए. उसके बाद अभी फीस आई है सेकंड ईयर की, शायद आप सब लोग अवेयर होंगे, नोटिस आया होगा. उसमें PWD की फीस 0 लिखी हुई है. तो छाती पे जो सांप लौटा है उन लोगों के जिनकी घर से ही फाउंडेशन खराब है. आप सोचिए क्या कर. मैम मेरा बड़ा सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है. मैं जानता हूँ कि 100 साल और लग जाएंगे इस स्टीरियोटाइप को खत्म करने में, लेकिन वी एज अवेयर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स क्या एक को भी कभी समझाने की जद्दोजहद करते हैं? क्योंकि मैं एक बात जानता हूँ, जो मेरे पिताजी इज नॉट इन दिस वर्ल्ड, बट वो हमेशा मुझे कहते थे कि बेटा जब तक समस्या निजी ना हो निजात पाने का मजा है ही नहीं।
यही होता है।
तो मैम इज इट रियल कि अभी जब इस सेमिनार हॉल से बाहर निकलेंगे या हम किसी भी स्कूल में जाएंगे वहां पे आज भी ये परसेंटेज है कि घर में आप पहुंचते ही घर वाले आपको समझाते हैं या तो वो छोटी जात का है, क्यों बात
मैं तुम्हें एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देती हूँ, ठीक है? जो तुम बोल रहे हो बैठ जाओ पीछे वालों को, दिख नहीं हूँ मैं actually। मैं बहुत छोटी हूँ, एस्टिमेट नहीं लगता कितनी छोटी हूँ। इस रूम में जनरल कैटेगरी वाले हाथ उठाओ, तुम्हारे घर में अगर एक तुम शेड्यूल कास्ट लड़का या लड़की लेके आओगे से शादी करनी है, कितने घर वाले बिना क्वेश्चन करे हाँ कर देंगे? हाथ उठा लो।
सर आपके अंदर ही है बस ये।
नहीं करेंगे, मैं तुम्हें लिख के दे रही हूँ। घर वाले एक बार भी क्वेश्चन नहीं करेंगे, एक बार भी डबल मुंह से भी नहीं बोलेंगे वैसे बेटा उसकी कास्ट तो, और डिसेबल्ड इंसान को लेके आओ, फिर देखो जो तांडव मचेगा घर पे। नहीं मचेगा? मचेगा ना, क्यों नहीं मचेगा? पूरा मचेगा। घर वाले ये नहीं देखेंगे उसकी कैपेबिलिटी क्या है, वो देखेंगे उसकी जात क्या है, उसकी शक्ल क्या है।